Hello everybody, Gingershadow here, and welcome back to another Minecraft mod review with me. And today we're looking at the solo leveling mod. It's for Minecraft 1.19.4, and it's an interesting mod. It's one that I've been playing recently and streaming with some friends, and we've been having a great old time playing it. There's actually a fair bit to do in here, a bunch of weapons, a core, gates to go through an adventure through, leveling up, the class system, there's just tons of little bits. So yeah, we're going to take a look at that today. So yeah, solo leveling. You go into the world and it'll instantly pop up on your screen saying you've leveled up, because at that point you become a player, and at that point you're given stats. And at that point, the game will pick its favorites. Which I was not the first time I played this. So basically when you first spawn in, there's a likely chance it'll pop up in chat saying a gate has opened at somewhat coordinates. That means a gate will appear in those exact coordinates. There's one there, for example. There's one, yep, just over there as well. And yeah, at that point, you're free to go walk into them. You will lose, though, because there are monsters inside, and they're not very kind. So before that, you're probably going to want to go gear up and things, and then you can go in. But as far as I'm aware, the only way to get experience to level up further is to go through gates and fit the monsters there. The monsters in the overworld do not count. They don't, zombies and such don't give you XP. You need to fight the monsters in there. Right, going into controls, because this stuff's important. Keybinds, Badoo. Ah, there it is, in miscellaneous, I forgot. So there are a couple of buttons for this. There's some that were instantly took away. So there's one called lock target. So that's naturally on Y. Just gonna quickly show that off. I don't think the lock target thing. So the gate technically is an entity. Yeah, I don't like the lock target thing. There's a lock target thing. I think it's work in progress. I, for the most part, just turn it off and ignore that one. That one, you might just want to turn off and ignore. Kill, alright, I mean, you're free to try if you want to, or maybe it's just my computer. I don't know, people are free to try it, but from what I've understood, that one better left ignored. The other buttons, though, far more important. So yeah, get rid of that. Open menu, far more important. Default on O, I changed it to Y. Skill select on C, and use skill on R. Those buttons, far more important. They do some cool stuff. So open manual, this is where we get to see a whole bunch of stuff here. Also, cool menu. I like the menu. So you'll notice I'm level 4, XP 25 out of 44, points 10, job none, title none, intelligence 4, agility 1, vitality 4, strength 4, along with a whole bunch of buttons here. So all this stuff. First off, when you first appear in the world, it says you level up. Yeah, because when you first join the world, you don't start at level 1. The game will start you at a somewhat random level. I don't know what the scale of it is. The highest I've heard someone get to is level 5 at this point, making my friend Demon. When I spawned in the same world as him, I spawned at level 3. So I started off weaker, or with more potential, if you want to look at the upside. Also, the number of points you start with, the number of points you start in skills and things, are somewhat random, because I'm pretty sure stat total wise, one of my friends might have a slightly higher stat total. I'm not entirely sure, because they might be lying. So that's the whole thing. But yeah, points, you can spend those and put them in skills. So to tell what each one does, it's pretty simple, but yeah, it also tells you somewhat there. Mana is increased by putting intelligence. Intelligence will also affect a lot of your skills and stuff, because some skills are directly dependent on certain stats. So, for example, if you do magic, a lot of cases the damage will be reflected off of your intelligence. Agility increases your speed. It also gives you a small dodge chance when things attack you. So there's a chance you'll just take no damage. Awesome. Vitality. Now, this one confused me at start because it says increase your health. It doesn't. Your hearts don't go up by increasing vitality. So, for example, I go into creative mode and I currently have that many hearts. If I put all 10 points in there, my hearts don't move. So what it does, it basically gives you a defense buff. It makes it so you can take more hits before dying. So at this point, you increase your vitality enough, and you can say, jump off a really tall building, and you won't die from it. So, handy in that way. And strength, it increases your damage output. And there obviously are some skills that are going to base off your strength. But yeah, obviously, handy one to have at the start, because at that point, at this current point, you've got no skills or anything like that. So yeah, strength will start. Should also note, as you level up, all your stats will increase by 1, except for agility. Agility, you have to put points into. Every intelligence, vitality, and strength, they all seem to increase by 1 every time you level up. So that's a whole thing too. Going from there, skills. We currently have none. Cool. There's 2 things for skills. 1, get a job, which That's a whole thing for later. And 2, get runes. That's also a thing to look at later. But just to note, runes can drop off bosses. There's like a 1 in 8 chance when you kill a boss, it will drop a rune. Click the rune, you can go in this section, and you can get rune skills. Each boss has a rune that somewhat is set to them. And yeah, at that point you can set the skill to be on that certain point, but for now we've got none of that, so ignore that for now. Settings, you can adjust your speed in case you put your agility to really high. Okay. There's also things like, yeah, daily quests, hides, your class in your guild, and show damage and stuff, so yeah, things, yeah. Yes, because there's also a guild system down here. You can create a guild, party up with people, and at that point it will take note of how many guilds or how many gates you've cleared together, and also give you some more money when you clear gates and things together because you're getting paid by the guild. Speaking of money, shop system. There's a shop system. I like this system. It's a fun system. It's also got an economy system. So when you first start, you start with $100, and so basically the number on the left is what the item will cost. aka when I move over, it'll switch. The number on the right is the number you've got. It gives you the option to sell any crystals that are in your inventory if you picked up mana crystals and stuff, like say those ones there are the ones that drop from monsters. And yeah, you've got the option obviously to go buy. If you scroll around, you can find something you want. So for example, yeah, I've just started, I've got no gear, so let's say, yeah, I want to get a sword. Click buy, it'll use all my money. Neat. There's some cool stuff in here. It's basically how you'll get a bunch of the mod weapons and that thing. It's also has a lot of people have ended up using it for bread because it's free food. It's very cheap. You'll get a lot of money as you go around as time goes. So yeah, it's not surprising people end up using it for bread. It's also handy for bread though if you get trapped inside a dungeon and you need emergency food very quickly, or in worst case scenario, you get trapped in a red gate and you really need emergency food. And the last section here, quests. So, there are a couple of quests at the top here. From what I know, it goes up to 9, which the first couple are do some basic things, then after that it becomes your job quest. Which, after you do the couple of basic quests, you can do the job quests. Job quest is quite hard though, and it will determine what job you get, and it's time-based, so the stronger you are, the better you're doing that. Then there's the daily quest, and this thing used to mess me up. So, run 1,000 blocks and do 100 squats. Doesn't sound so bad. It used to be 1,000 squats every single day. Not a Minecraft day, Keely. Every IRL day. So, essentially, if you don't do it, you go to the penalty zone. That's where big monsters live. So if you're low level, terrible. If you're high level, it's a treat, because then you get to go kill those high level monsters and go and get the XP from them. But yeah, it's not too bad to do now, because you just do 100 squats and do around 1,000 blocks. If you do the quest, it doesn't tell you when you finished it, but it will give you some XP, so you might level up from it. So it's just an extra thing you can do every day to get a bit more XP for free and level up essentially without having to go in the gates. Right, going from there over to some items. So there's a bunch of random little bits in here. We're going to go over these real quick first, and then we'll go look at like the weapons and the mobs and things and the gates themselves. So, bits. The gate exit, that's just a block that exists. If you right click it, you exit the gate you're currently in. Mana crystals, you find them in gates, you pick them up, you can put them in your inventory, and you can go into shop and you can click sell, and they'll sell for a bit. Key thing about economy that I mentioned before, as you sell crystals, the price of everything increases. And that's server flat, like that's server for everyone. So like, if other people sell a load, your prices go up as well. There are commands to turn it off, but that's how it is. So basically, if you have someone that's amassing a lot of money, they're making the prices higher for everyone else. Flip side though, buy a lot of things, it will decrease the price of things. So there's that. Then I've got a couple of other things: trade block, mine generator, energy bank, and quarry. These are things I've used less, but trade bank seems to be a thing of put item in, set it for trade. Basically, if you get a rare boss drop and you want to sell it to someone and they can't kill the boss because they're too weak at this current point, you can put it in there. I guess as more weapons and stuff get added to the mod, so there's a bunch more variation in things, then you know that'll become handier and handier. Then there's the mana generator. You put those mana crystals, these things, in here. It's supposed to generate power. There's a power bank, which I assume would store power, and there's the quarry. So that's what this thing's built for, from what I've been told. It basically digs up items for you without having you go mining. Cool. From there, there's also mana crystals. These drop from monsters. They'll typically have a number associated with them, which is how much they're worth, and the stronger the monster you beat, the higher the crystal normally you'll get from it. Cool. There are mana potions. From what I'm told, these can be brewed. I think someone said it was from poison with a mana crystal, but I've never actually attempted and saw it. But apparently they're in and they do exist. I've got no crafting recipe, but apparently they do exist. So I don't know if anyone in the comments wants to mention on that one. Cool, but basically you want more mana and things for a bit. Then there's this thing, the energy meter. So it's got no crafting recipe, but you can buy it from the shop. I did actually think I was surprised potions were in the shop. That seemed like something to be. But yeah, so the mana meter is kind of handy. I quite like it. So basically, if you right-click it normal, it will tell you what your current rank is. aka, I'm currently E rank at level 4. If you go up to another player, you can right-click them, and it'll tell you what their energy meter is, or their energy level is. Awesome. If you go up to a gate, it will tell you how long until the gate will do a dungeon break. Because, yeah, there are 48 minutes until a gate dungeon breaks. Now, that only counts when you're in the area with the gate, to be fair. When you go far away out of the chunks and the gate's unloaded, it basically goes, it just sits there. So you can come back to it later. But yeah, if one spawns in an area nearby where you live, then different story. At that point, you're probably going to have to deal with it, because otherwise monsters will come out. Or maybe you want to do that, so you can just fight the monsters outside. Take your pick. But yeah, gates are an interesting thing. They spawn somewhat at random, it seems. Because the entire time we've been sitting here, no gates have spawned. But they could spawn at any point. Unless there's already gates nearby you, in which case you're less likely to have a gate spawn, apparently, in that area. And that seems to be a thing for gates. A good way to get more to spawn is to travel, essentially. I noticed a lot of the time when I was going off to go to food and stuff like that, I was going off to near areas to try and hunt animals. A lot of gates were spawning. And yeah, it was pointed out, yeah, it's because that's how they work. Literally, if you run around and run further about and load in new chunks and stuff, you're more likely to have new gates pop up. So if you want to hunt gates, run around the place, go to different chunks and things, because gates don't want to be near each other. This one's one I spawned in. The one over there spawned naturally, so normally that wouldn't work. That's why there's two so close by here. And okay, I should also point out, probably should have said this near the start, this mod has spoilers in it. Like, it's based off of the comic, the webcomic. It's not based off the anime. So there's a lot more stuff in this than what is shown in the anime. So if you play this, you will absolutely get spoilers for things. I mean, obviously it's in Minecraft, so you might not understand the context, but you will see creatures and things that are for later on. It goes past Ignis the Red Knight, basically. So yeah, if you care about that, from this point on, I will be showing stuff that would go with the spoiler territory. So, going into spoiler territory, so yeah, obviously there's a whole bunch of weapons you can get from the store. Things like, yeah, the classic sword, a dagger, and, you know, some other stuff. Shields, as you know, they don't do normal blocking. Shields, apparently, when you use them in blocking things, it does a damage reduction for you. So, that's apparently how they work. Magic Staff increases your mana, aka your magic power, so if you just spell, does more damage. They're cool. Then, yeah, you get certain other weapons, which, they do essential effects. So you got some basic ones, you know, like bows and stuff, cleaver and things. And you go into the funner stuff, so you've got the Kasaka Venom. That's the dagger from the anime/webcomic that you got from the Serpent. It does paralysis and bleed damage when you hit something with it. Actually cool. There's the Knight, that killer. That does piercing damage. Cool for when it's armored opponents. Then there's, like, yeah, the Demon King Longsword. Yeah, that's a whole different thing. The Large Axe. Yeah, this thing's huge. Oh, so yeah, the weapons, they look pretty cool. Large Axe, though, has a whole effect thing where if you hit something, it will effectively do... It'll do an effect, essentially. So, like, if I shove it there, I believe if I drop a weapon, it'll do it as well. No, never mind. Basically, you hit something, it does like a lot of knockback and things. So some weapons have extra combat capabilities, much like the other dagger does. Oh, there we go. There, I right-clicked it, did the smash thing. There's a silver spear. Bonus damage with bigger range, so you hit someone further away, does more. Also, you can dash with a right-click, so you can get a speed boost from it. So, yeah, that's neat. Reaper. Lifesteal swords. Lets you steal... Basically lets you get health back from damage and things. And a key thing, and something we've realized, I don't know if that's necessarily a bug or where it's like actual intended feature or what. I'm thinking it's intended feature given the length of time it's been in, it's never been patched. But you can dual wield in this, and dual wielding actually does a bit for you. For example, if you have the Night Killer in one hand and the Kasaka Venom in your offhand, if you hit with the Night Killer, it'll apply the effects of the Venom Fang as if you're attacking with both of them. Which I think is really cool, because it means, yeah, it's as if you're dual wielding. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, going in further in, the Magic Orb boosts magic by 100%, so just doubles your spell power. Awesome. Kishma's Wrath, yeah, that's like an in-game dagger. That's an in-game pair of daggers, don't worry about him. Kishma's Symphony, you have to go Kishma for that. I don't think you can find him. He has a spawn egg, but I don't think you can actually find him at this current point. And there's Baraka's Dagger. That one you can get. I've acquired it once before. Has a paralysis effect, 10% damage boost, and +3 speed. So if you're a strength-based character, that does a lot of damage. Awesome. Helps buck up your agility if you've not been putting a lot of points in it. And a paralysis effect, which is always nice to be able to stun people. Then there's that's just a Mental Wax. I think I got it in later, and that's why it's further down. Also, armor. There's one set of armor in this mod. Hopefully it's up, but add more things in. But for now, there is the dragon-based armor, which is really strong and good, has good knockback resilience. So it's awesome. And that's another fun thing about this mod. It doesn't damage your armor, and I love that. Because it'd be such a pain having to constantly repair armor from how combat heavy this mod is. They just make it so, no, your armor is just your armor at that point. You just get, like, if you put iron armor on, doesn't take damage from mobs. Doesn't take damage from durability damage from battle. I love that. I love that that's the thing. So it means I don't have to spend nearly as much time finicking about with armor, trying to get, the things back to the way they were and stuff. So, yeah, that's a fun one. Weapons will chip in damage, but you also have a shop where you can buy more, and, you can get them from boss drops and things. That's less of an issue. And now we come over to these items, the keys and things. So, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in this mod to show off. The keys and the rune. So the rune is the thing from before. You can absolutely get these before you get a job. If you right click it, you'll learn your skill. You go into the skill bit, go into learn your skill, and at this point I've learned a dash skill. I can now click that. That's now my first skill option. So now if I click the button for it. So in this case I've got a C and R. So if I click C, it'll rotate between the skills. If I do shift C, it'll go back. And if I click R, it'll do the skill. So in this case the dash skill, which in this case seems to do a very, it's like a short blip. So that's, you basically teleport. You basically teleport to as if you're, moving really quick. It lets you teleport. I'm assuming it's maybe also affected by the higher agility and things like that. But, yeah. Runestone, so apparently this runestone is just a dash skill. So I now can't click it because I already have the dash skill. Cool. I have to go get a different runestone. That's fine. Then I'll get the keys. The dungeon key. Oh, this thing. It's an S-rank key to be level 50 to activate and get into. It is, yeah, it's the Demon Castle, basically, if you want to go there. And to get it, you have to do the daily quest and double over the things required for it, which I believe becomes unlockable after you reach a certain level or you do the job quest. Do the job quest? No, actually, yeah, you don't need the job quest. I think you just have to get over a certain level, I believe it is. Maybe. I don't know. I did the job quest really early, which was dumb. So, maybe because of that. But I don't think you need to do it. I think it might just be level associated. Now, something I do know is level associated is the old key. This thing's a whole thing. So, after you reach, I think it's 30 or 35, you start getting old keys. When you beat bosses, there's a chance to just get one. Or when you level up from areas now, there's a chance to get one. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is I kept getting them after I came out of dungeons. Once you get 3 of them, there's a chance you go in a dungeon, and it'll take you to a secret, special location where a very particular giant monarch lives. If you use the keys to unbind his bindings, you can fight him and become the monarch of beginning. There are a handful of monarchs in the game, and you can only have one player be a monarch. So, server-wise, if you become the monarch of beginning, you're the only monarch of beginning. He's a tank-based guy that gives you tanky-based skills from the looks of it. It's a fun little event thing you can do if you have the old keys, which I guess I'll take in my inventory and see if it'll appear when I randomly go through gates. And right, before we look at mobs, yeah, let's go look at gates and stuff. So, if we were to go through the gate, Bloodonk, where is it gonna take us? Low terrain, bum-ba-dum. How gates are meant to work? They go by your level. Okay, this is the monarch of beginning. If you want to use the old keys, you can unbind him and fight him and become the monarch of beginning. Either, that said, there are some restrictions. aka, if you're, say, a mage class, you cannot become the monarch of beginning. I should probably note that out. If you get no class, or if you have particular classes like the tank class, then yeah, you can upgrade to monarch of beginning. But yeah, we're gonna leave, and I just ignore that for now. I just want to look at a regular dungeon. So if you have 3 keys on you, I guess the first gate you go through at that point becomes that gate. That's a guaranteed thing. Also, it says he's like level 50, so yeah, good luck fighting him. I fought him with an ally. Which, fighting him with an ally, totally doable. This gate is open. It now is bound to him. He's waiting. So, you can go in if you want. But yeah, if I go over to this gate over here and go in, it should take me to a more basic area. Ah, there we go. That's what I'm more familiar with. Actually, well, yes and no, I'm more familiar with this. This is actually also new for me in some regard. So, okay, going through gates. gates, by default, are set to go by what level you're at. So the first player that goes in, depending on the level, it'll try and set a dungeon to run that level. So I'm currently, you know, a level 4. It's put me in a C. Difficulty C? What? Okay, well that's not correct. Shouldn't say C. Level 8 should be E or D at best. The way they're saying C, that might be bugged. But yeah, it's taking you to a goblin dungeon, which, yeah, there's a whole bunch of goblins here. If you go deeper in, through the maze of things, and fight off all the goblins, which, yeah, killing goblins will grant you XP. If I were to kill one right now. Hold on, let me actually, I can't, hold on. They are moving in currently creatable, but you can get a slight bit harder. There we go. I killed one and got 1 XP. Also, a skull drop where he's I need a torch. Alright, there we go. That's better. So, yeah, when you beat an enemy, it drops a skull. Also, drop a mana crystal. It's a level 1 goblin thing. It gave me 1 mana crystal. Okay. But yeah, if I keep going further in, eventually it should point out where the I'm getting near the boss. And yeah, there we go. So we get the goblin boss, which was basically just a hobgoblin. And yeah, so you fight your way through all the things and get to what is meant to be the goblin room, and then you fight the hobgoblin boss. Now this is different. Also, it says he's level 30. Wait, what? Okay, that's why it's saying C rank. Because the boss is a C rank monster. Okay, well that's new and different, because it definitely wasn't like that before. But now I'm really curious what I get for beating him. Hold on, I'm gonna be a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna be a really long minute, because I've not got, I need a stronger weapon. Seems like a perfect time to test out this thing. So yeah, Thing Fang in the other hand, Night Killer in the main hand. There you go, he's getting the bleeding effect still on. Awesome. Yeah, so, these are new, by the way. So the recent update redid goblins and things. Also, I got 24 experience for beating him, which is kind of standard. Also got a crystal worth 30 for beating him. Neat. And it says, yeah, level 30. This is not a C rank gate. This is a lower rank gate, but that boss is definitely hard. It sounds harder than what it should be. Normally, I think they were like level 18 or something, or 20. That's an upgrade. But yeah, goblins had a reader done. They used to have different models and things, but apparently there was like there was an issue with them. So they got redone recently, and by the looks of it, more different goblin stuff got added in. The boss looks entirely different from what it used to. So these goblins are vaguely similar to what they used to be. Is that goblin mage? I don't know. There's one type of goblin I hate. It may just be the club goblin. Yeah, there's one type. Actually, the mage one used to have a hat on, and used to have a staff, and used to they shoot firebolts at you. They're nightmares. Then when you're first going through dungeons, regular goblins, not as big a deal. You can fight them. Couple of wee goblins. You get some basic Minecraft gear, you're probably fine. Then the archers and the mage appears. And then it becomes a different game, because those guys are monsters. They do a whole bunch of damage to your little basic low-level Minecraft self. So, yeah, I'm sure people have fun with their first gates. I certainly had fun with mine, getting absolutely destroyed by goblins. So yeah, so dungeon complete. Technically, anytime you can come over here and right-click this block and leave. But, yeah, in this case, though, we've completed the dungeon, because we beat the boss. The boss is the only requirement to be beaten. Once you beat that, the gate will shut. Aside from that, you can technically go in and out and wipe out the other enemies at your own pace. It's just the boss that has to be left. But of course, as long as the boss remains, the dungeon breaks on its way. So, balance that however you will. Alright, so I leveled up. And with that, I gained new points and things. That was another thing to quickly point out. Every time you level up, I believe every level you get 2 points. Except for level 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. Every end of level 5, I believe at those points you get 3 points. So yeah, at this point, I now get 3 more points to spend, so I can tell them and say agility, and now feel slightly quicker, have a slightly better dodge chance. And if I give myself, there is a command for XP. I don't remember what it is though. See if we can make, but these are actually some ones I can quickly point out command-wise. There are commands. Set death punishment. If you set your death punishment on, you lose XP and money whenever you die. Set Demon Castle floor. That's if you want to skip the Demon Castle floor. Set economy value. That's so you can fix the economy if it's been absolutely destroyed by your server. Set gate balance. That's a fun one. Set gate balance. False. Dungeons will be random. So normally dungeons go by your level. I'm at level 5, so I'll always get goblin dungeons. Once I get to like level 10 or something, I may eventually find golem dungeons. You know, the next tier up. And so on, so on. If you break the dungeon balance, you'll just get anything. There's also the command to set gate spawning, so if you don't want gates randomly spawning in a world and you want to just spawn them in, cool. The setting your job, the setting the max number of gates that can spawn in the world, so you don't have like 20 gates appearing if you've got a large server with a lot of players. Set Necromancer obtains. As I said, only one person can become each Monarch. Necromancer's not Monarch, technically, but it is special. So there's gonna be one Necromancer. So there's that. Now set player take skip, which that's apparently a bug fix. Okay, there's apparently a command called get strongest. I assume that just automatically sets all your stuff to be really high. It's like a thing. So there's a command to add money. There's a command to disable your lock on. Okay. I know there's one if you do /SL. Yeah, here we are. /SL add XP. Debug, help, place ignition and place temple. Those are commands to make those things appear in the overworld. And there's reset stats, so you can set yourself back to the beginning. So, but in this case, though, I want to give myself some XP. So I'm going to give myself 60 XP. So I level up again. At this point, yeah, gain 2 skill points, which is what I assumed I would get. Also, just as a quick note, so gates, they are entities. So you can use things like water and that to move them. You probably shouldn't. But I'm just pointing out they are entities, so they show up on the map as a red dot if you have a map mod, like journey map and things. So that's all well and cool if you want to try and track them that way. Also means though they've got spawn eggs, so you can just place them down if you want to cheat ones in. So at this point though, I've took balancing off, so without balancing on, what's it like when I walk through here? What the gate will I get? Well, I've never got a boss golem. I've got a golem gate. Okay, if I look at this thing here, it says on there a B rank average level 38. Okay, this is broken. This is not... Okay, no, this is like a D rank dungeon. Oh, never mind. This is a B rank dungeon. Because it's not just golems. There's orcs in here. Yeah, okay, never mind. Scratch what I just said. Okay, just the goblin one was bugged then. No. Orcs live in here too. Kill. Orcs are higher leveled monsters. They're meant to be A rank. The golem boss is, yeah, level 18. Okay, so he's still fine. He's still how he normally is. Okay, so it's not the bosses are bugged. No, it's random dungeon gave me an orc golem split, which means the golems massively weighed down the orc level of the dungeon. Yeah, now it's saying level 40 because now I'm closer to all the orcs and things. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes more sense now. Interesting. Okay, you can trust me on everything but the goblin gate, basically. The goblins are brand new though; they've just been put in, so I imagine that is just a slight bug with the boss being set so high level that it's confusing the meter. But right, as for mobs, yeah, I guess I'll spawn some of the more basic ones in, so we can take a look at those and the various things you'll locate when you go into various gates. And then, yeah, we'll see what other bits are to look at from there. Yeah, going in some of the basic stuff you can spawn in, yeah, there's the skull. So there's a skull that appears. Then there's the various goblins. So there's goblin with mohawk, there's goblin with club, there's goblin assassin. There is Goblin Bomber. He's new. He's part of the new update. He wasn't in before. I wonder what he does. Now there's a Goblin Boss, which looks like that. So, okay, they've changed it. Okay, so there's now some goblins been taken out. So the mage goblins are gone. Okay. Also looks like the archer goblins are gone. So I'd argue this makes it easier for going through the first gates because, actually, I say that. This guy probably shoots fire. He's probably the new mage. Let's see the archer, though. So that makes things a bit simpler for people that have just joined. Because the archers now made it quite hard because if they wait at the gate front for you coming in, which they can just destroy you as soon as you get in. So that's the thing. There's golems, they're the next tier up, so goblins and that, the levels can be all over the place. The highest ranked one is the assassin at level 18 from what I know. Then there's golems, so yeah, their levels slightly differ. They're big chunky boys with more armor. After that, there's the steeled fangs. They spawn the gate up from that. Okay, apparently it can be as low as 18. I was a bit still normally level like 20 to 30. There's one at 18 though, so you can go as low as 18 at least. Going from there, the centipedes. These are the things that spawn in the punishment room, or the punishment dimension, I should say. Which, yeah, if you don't do your daily quest, you'll go into a dimension filled with these things. They're level 27, so depending on your level, they could just be easy. They could be an absolute menace. The undead, after the steel fang dogs, the undead start floating around. These guys are tanky. They're not super, like, fast or anything, but they have got a bit of power. They have got a bit of, armor to them, so they are fairly tough opponents. Then there's these guys. So these guys can spawn in dungeons after the undead. They also can spawn if you get a red gate. Red gates occur at random. You walk through a gate, there's a chance they'll just become a red gate. At which point, you're trapped in that dimension until you die. Or until you beat the boss. Good luck with that, though, because there's ice bears. There's ice elves. These things are monsters. These things have caused me and my friends so much grief. They are very strong, they are very fast, and they've got intelligent AI. These guys have got an extra thing going on. They will go out of their way to target the player that has low HP, aka if one of the players in the party falls below half HP, these guys will stop targeting other people and go for that person because they're jerks. I'm a mage in my group. My other two friends have got lifesteal. Normally two I'm normally playing with like one or two. But yeah, normally they have lifesteal blades, so they keep their health up. I get low down, then all the else jump me. It's a whole thing. Then there's the boss. He looks similar to the other ones, but he's got a little similar head. He is the one that's slightly stronger though, and he can drop the unique dagger. Then we've got the spider boss. He's a big old goof. He's actually not too bad. The spider boss has a bit of a thing where it'll try and shoot web to web you up, which would be terrifying if it didn't catch itself in the web sometimes. There's the serpent. It's like level... I think I've seen this spawn below the spider quite often, so he's not really too bad. He's on level with the spider right now though. And there's the boss golem, which we saw earlier on, which he is technically the second one. He is surprisingly quick. He floats. He is surprisingly quick. He knocks you around the place. But, you know, there's a bunch of fun... There's a mix of fun things, fun creatures to fight, basically, when you get to the dungeons for bosses. Like, they don't all just always do the same thing. Like, spider tries to web you. The boss golem tries to knock you around. Yeah, there's a couple of different things going on there. So, there's that. Then we get to some of this stuff here. Which, now we're going into, heavy spoilery showing off bosses and some of this stuff I've not technically seen in my own playthrough, but I know roughly where to get it. So if we go to the demon castle, actually level 50, there's apparently a whole thing of, wild demons spawning, level 44, and also demon guards spawning bits. Cool. Because then, the boss you're going to fight in the demon castle is Barak. It's basically, it says level 100. This is the Monarch of White Flame. If you beat him, you can become the Monarch of White Flame. In my current survival playthrough, this guy's the goal right now. I'm like level 40. I'm going to be teaming up with friends though, so hopefully we'll be able to take him at some point. But yeah, there's him. There's also this guy, Dragon. So apparently, Dragon doesn't actually fully spawn yet, but he has a mod. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I just noticed a thing here. So if you spawn him in, he looks like that. He can fly. He's dragon. He doesn't... Apparently he doesn't spawn in yet, but his model exists, so he's not built in. I didn't notice though. Yeah, he actually goes on top of the dragon. Experiments the dragon when he... Dragon's nearby. That's cool. Then going from here. So these are... The orcs are brand new to the game. Not brand new. They came out like last big update, which was like a week ago or something. So like they're fairly new to the game. So you've got the orcs and high orcs. High orcs being stronger. I didn't realize you went up to level 70. Interesting. Apparently you have to be like the 40s and higher to have their gates even appear, which makes sense. This guy's like level 50 and stuff. Dum-ba-dum. Then you get this new chap that came in, Tusk. That's not technically his actual name when he was alive, but he's got a name like that for a reason. But yeah, this is essentially the High Orc Shaman boss. He's got magic and stuff, and in the comic at least, he had the ability to grow bigger and do a whole bunch of nasty stuff, like, you know, seal the portal so you couldn't go back through. Apparently that's a mechanic that's been to happen. When you go in now, around High Orc bases or High Orc dungeons, if he's your boss, he apparently can seal the dungeons so you can't get back out. Which is fine, because you'll probably get killed anyway. The High Orcs also have a nasty feature. They have an intelligent AI thing as well. Unlike the elves that target the weakest player, High Orcs have a calling for aid type thing, where if they are facing, they can call for their allies to come over from a further distance. Apparently that's the thing that happens. Apparently the original intent was to have them be able to kidnap players, which... That was the mod maker said that one. I was like, we were like, wait, what? Okay, it's probably a good thing that's not in. That would be terrifying. But yeah, there's a bunch of the bosses that you can find through the various gates. But that is, of course, not all the mobs in the game. There are others. Before we look at those last few, so I'd go take a look at the class system and things, and skills and things, because that's the thing we haven't looked at as much. Because like, there's a bunch of this mod. It's gonna be quite a long video, but whatever. It's a cool mod I'm having a lot of fun with. And yeah, as you can see, there's just finished stuff showing so far. There's a bunch of stuff to do. And the mod's getting updates and stuff to add more bits in. So yeah, it's just been a great old time playing this mod. And it's just, as we play it, there's just more and more things for us to go do and look forward to trying the fight. But yeah, as far as the class system goes, so however that works, you're supposed to complete various jobs, quests I should say, So you complete the Goblin Hunt, after you're told to complete a Golem Hunt, after you're told to clear dungeons, and after that you get given the Secret Quest. The Secret Quest lets you go to the Job Change dungeon, and you fight a bunch of waves of enemies, and then you fight Ignis, the Red Knight. And once you beat him, it'll do a time-based thing, and it'll say, hey, these are the jobs you have available. Depending how quickly you do it, more jobs will become available to you. I did it very slowly, so I was given one option, Support Mage. So, you can use the command just to set my job to Support Mage, at which point, I'm now Support Mage. I don't know if that's going to work without a space. Well, we'll figure that one out together in a second. If I go to skills now, yeah, okay, I didn't set it right. So you can set the, you can use the commands. You have to, obviously, write the name incorrectly, which, I believe I need an underscore there then. That should work. Yes? Yes! So, at this point I now unlock skills. So, as a support mage, I unlocked one skill and one skill alone. Heal. That's not true. I also unlocked Power Boost. Every 10 levels, you gain a new skill. Up until I think it's like level 50. Because going by the first page and things. I think you unlock that. You basically unlock your first skill, then like unlock like 4 or 5 skills after that. For each class. Which is cool. So, as a support mage, yeah, it's support. You're a healer, basically. So, you can heal people and stuff. It will start off very weak. I could heal people for exactly 1 heart. 2 HP. It was abysmal. As I increased my intelligence, though, it would increase. In theory. It's basically based off your intelligence level anyway. And obviously, if you've got any extra items like the wand or the orb to boost the power even further. But just to show, if I now do /SL add XP to me, and I give myself, say, 10,000 XP, I'll gain a whole bunch of levels real quick. That's not enough. I need to get up to level 50, game. Come on. One more. There we go. So, if I got up to level 50, obviously increase my strength, vitality, and intelligence for every level I went up. And then I've got a whole bunch of points I can spend to go even further if I wanted to. But at this point now, if I go in the skills, I've got heal, power buff, speed buff, heal buff, tactical insight, soothing breeze. So, yeah, level 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 unlocked new things. Which, yeah, just means I can do some extra bits. Which, I can apply these to myself. If I, for example, put this on my first skill, and I click to do it. So, if I clicked R right now, it would try and use the skill on a person I'm looking at. If I do Shift R, it'll apply the skill to myself. So, now I've got power buff on. Which it says there at the corner, I've got it on for however long it is. Then after that, I go on cooldown. But I believe as my mana goes up, the power that I get from it increases. So there's some fun bits there. But yeah, instead we're gonna go look at other classes. But to note for classes, if I was to name them off the top of my head, there is support mage and there's fire mage as the mage ones. There is assassin and ranger. There is tank and fighter. There's obviously necromancer. And then, is there any other ones beyond that? That might be all of them. But yeah, I mean, even if that is all of them, I think that's 7 I named there. Like, yeah, support mage, fire mage, assassin, ranger, tank, fighter, and the necromancer. I think that's 7. That might be all. There might be other ones. There are other ones. Let me know in the comment section down below. But I believe that's them. But yeah, that basically is a bunch of different classes for what would be a bunch of different skills. So if we do /set job again, set ourselves to a different one, we can see what other skills are available. Yeah, there we go. Assassin, which people were saying might not even exist. We get the job. We get the ability stealth, smoke, curtain, flash cut, executioner dash, and backstab. Which yeah, if we grab stealth, that's one we have seen in the show before. Lets you go invisible. Not your weapon, though. But lets you go invisible. Which, yeah, at this point I got stealth 2 for 15 seconds. I believe that how my intelligence is, the longer it would last, in theory. At the very least, it made my cooldowns went down a bunch. I'm curious about that one. I'm going to put all my points in intelligence in a second and see if it's actually going. But yeah, okay, so that was, what, 15 seconds there? What if I put my intelligence up by a whole bunch? Okay, so I put my intelligence up to 120. I also put my agility to 50 there, just because assassin job. Which, to show off, yeah, my agility got up to 50 means, yeah, we now move a fair bit quicker than what we did before. The speed becomes a lot more noticeable as you level up. But yeah, but my increase in my intelligence, my mana levels now up to 615. Awesome. And if I try the skill again, it lasts 20. That looked like 20 seconds at time. So I don't know if that is. Was it just that time originally and I just didn't notice the first part? Or I don't know. Either way, I am able to cast it again as soon as it runs out. Or even just again right now. Actually, oh, I can click again and end it. Oh, cool. But yeah, that's up to like 19 seconds, it looks like, or 20 seconds. I know that actually did go higher or not, but either way, increasing your intelligence is always going to be good for a lot of your skills. Okay, let's go take a look at the Necromancer skill. If we click to be Necromancer, we now have a whole bunch of skills. You get the skills from the guy in the shield, obviously. So we got Arise, which, I believe that's what the skulls are for. Essentially, you kill something and it skulls there and the smoke's coming out. Yeah, that's for this class. I mean, it looks cool as well. Just the idea of the dead bodies there and dum-ba-dum. At first, I didn't even think about it. But then when you sit and think about it again, it's like, oh yeah, that's there for this guy. So, look at this lovely orc just sitting here. I'm gonna move him, I'm gonna sit down here. But yeah, we've got this lovely orc here. I kill him really quick. I say really quick. This will not be quick. But once I do kill him, I can attempt the Arise skill on him. If not, I'll spawn in other creatures. And there we go. Nearly there we are. So, got a skull here with smoke. Arise. Arise field. Yes, that's very likely because this orc is very powerful. Skill on kill then. Failed. And because I tried 3 times and it failed, I lose the thing. Okay, maybe we try something a bit weaker. Like a goblin. There's a goblin. There's a dead goblin. Arise. Excuse me. There we go. I was about to say, there's no way I'm failing against the goblins. At this point, I've created a Shadow Soldier. And, yeah, at this point, we've already got our Rise skill, and so before we go to the next skill. Summon Soldier. Wait, hold on. We want to click the top one here to switch over the number, and then go to there. Summon Soldier. Which, we go to Summon Soldier. And there we go, it brings the soldier back into me. And then once the cooldown goes away, we can start back. It's a cool looking class. Sadly, I didn't get it in my actual survival playthrough. But my friend Demon's trying to get it. And he doesn't know really what's in store for it. But even just the base, seeing like you can get shadow menus and stuff. Yeah. Okay, amazing. And obviously, yeah, the stronger you are, you can attempt to try and get more powerful skills and things and endings. Like, say, you know, some of the more unique people you bump into, like a certain Red Knight. And speaking of him, yeah, this part will go and dig into this chest. This chest has a bunch of other funky spawn eggs, which, yeah, we'll go take a look at those. So, starting off, the good old Red Knight himself, Bwadonk. So, yeah, job change quest. He's level 30. You gotta beat him in order to complete job change quest. And I do believe there is a model for him being a shadow soldier. Or I think that's the thing for it. So, in theory, you could try and get him as part of your army. But yeah, moving on from him, though, yeah, there's the basic shadow soldiers. So, yeah, there are most basic enemies, it seems, are going to get turned into those. And then, yeah, more unique ones are going to get cool shadow variants, which, awesome. Then there's this thing. I'm going to put this over here real quick. I have never found this in the survival thing. I don't know if you can find it in the survival thing. But yeah. So, yeah, he exists. He will blast entities that get near him and things. So, there's that. And he does have a whole room and things prepared. I don't know if you can actually find him. I mean, if you can. I've never seen it. But I imagine since he's in, there's a plan to do something with them at some point. Which, I mean, people who have read the story will know, you know. You gotta go back to that room sometime. Anyway, after that, then there's these guys. So, I believe these are, like, you know, humanoids and stuff. And dope-a-doo. So, yeah, get these 3. I remember him being in. I don't remember seeing you or you before. So, I don't know how new you guys are. Or I just missed you when I went looking around the mod previously. But, yeah, you get 3 humanoid characters. At this point, I don't know if there's any way to actually interact with them. Or if they're just in for, you know, a planned, what could be quest or thing down the line. But, yeah, they're in. And, I mean, at least one of them is someone that'd be worth thing to fight at some point. Anyway, beyond that, Monarch of Giants. So, okay, you spawn him in, he spawns in chains. Oh, that's neat. I had no idea. Yeah, you can spawn after you release the chains, obviously. He'll get free. And then there's these things. The ants. So, ants level 82. Cool. Apparently, from what I've been told, these guys technically exist, but I think by default they're set to not spawn in dungeons and stuff unless you turn, like, because like by normal standards, unless you turn on random dungeons, then apparently there's a chance. I think. I don't quote me on that. I might be wrong about that. I'm just going off of, I did a stream and there was Mod Maker in there and other people were saying bits, I believe it was mentioned that you can technically find these people, and technically fight them, but it's like just a random dungeon if you take dungeon balance off. Then there's this guy. So as far as I'm aware, he doesn't actually like have a proper thing yet. He's just it's like a models in, but you don't actually get him as a proper thing to fight and things. Either way, it's Killy's here. Unless maybe he can be the boss, the ant dungeon. But again, that dungeon's not like a... I don't know. I've heard a bunch of bits of information about that stuff. But as far as I know, yeah, like they're in at the very least. So if they're not currently a thing you can find normally, then at least it's a planned thing. Or something going on planned for them. So that'll be awesome. Okay, so at this point though, looking at things, we've got the Monarch of Beginning. We've got the Necromancer. Oh, Dungeon Break did happen. Neat. Yeah, you'll notice that the Dungeon Break spawned the spider. Apparently the thing that comes out isn't always the thing you saw inside the dungeon. Because the Monarch of Beginning was in that dungeon. Or the Monarch of Giants, I should say. Or the Giant guy. The boss of the Giants. I don't know what you want to call him. But anyway, yeah, at this point though, we've seen Necromancer, Monarch of Beginning, Mark of White Flames, and technically only one player can get the thing for killing them, aka the job thing associated with them. So if you can't get the Necromancer, you're the only player that'll get Necromancer. Beat him, you're the only Monarch of Beginning. Beat the Barak the King, the demons and stuff, and yeah, you'll get the Monarch of White Flame title. And those are jobs that you can technically have, and you get skills associated with them. Awesome. Yeah, there's another though. There's another. There's the Monarch of Frost. Who, yeah, I have 120. He's strong. But apparently you can become the Monarch of Frost if you beat him, so that sounds cool. Don't know how you find them, though, unless it's just a thing that can appear in a dungeon somewhere. I don't know. Then there's this guy, who, as far as I know, can't spawn anywhere. There's the dragon. There's that dragon. Okay, so I'm level 90, actually. Compared to some of the stuff we've seen so far, that's not even that bad. I mean, it's still S-rank territory, and it's still gonna be an absolute monster to fight, but I mean, compared to the Monarchs. That's a pretty high bar to compare it to, but I mean, yeah, he's looking pretty scary just by standard monster strength anyway. But, yeah, so that's a whole bunch of stuff from the mods. Mobs-wise and stuff, and that's mostly us for this, mod review, because the mod review's already been going for a long old time. But yeah, there's a lot in this mod. There's a lot of really cool stuff in this mod. To see and do. But I mean, baseline, get some gear, go to dungeons, even play with friends, form a guild. Another point of the guild though actually was so you don't hit your allies. If you're in a guild, there's no PvP or anything, which is very handy for not shooting a fireball into your allies back. But yeah, there's a whole bunch in this mod, for just bits to do. Once you get to a certain point, you can do the job quests and stuff, and then obviously if you're not happy with it, you can use commands to alter yourselves around if you need to. But, yeah, as far as playing with friends and stuff goes, you can have a fun old time just going through dungeons and stuff, and then you get to the heavier, more powerful stuff down the line, with more powerful gear and things. As time goes, the mod's getting updated, seems to be adding more and more bits, so it'll be cool to see them add more mobs and bits, more gear, more weapons, more stuff. Yeah, it's a fantastic mod that I've been having a lot of fun with playing with. So, yeah, no, that's it for this mod review. Leave a like if you enjoyed the show. Link could be down below if you want to check the mod out. Again, it's for Minecraft 1.19.4. And as far as I'm aware, is a really good mod. I've not really had, like, there's been an occasional bug here and there, but for the most part, they seem to get fixed fairly quickly. So, yeah, I've not really had any issues or anything. It's been, you know, solid, and it's been a fun old time. But yeah, for now, though, thank y'all very much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. You'll probably see me end up looking at this mod again once it does more updates and stuff. So don't be surprised to see more mod reviews for this summer down the line, because I've been having a lot of fun playing this. But anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time for our Minecraft mod review thing I end up doing next. Bye everybody. Also, just want to say a quick thank you to all of our channel members for the extra support, and a special thank you and shout out to our elite members, the joining members Sebastian Ramsey and Aiden is gone, and our ANBU member MonsterQ. Thank you all very much for the extra awesome support. Badu.